The topic of today's video is going to be self-protection for women while they're dating. And of course, in the meantime, if you have any questions or you want to make a comment, you can use the comment section down below. Now, self-protection. I know we're all adults here, and a lot of the tips and hints and advice that I will give may sound like a common sense, but I would say that still there are a lot of women who are adults in their 20s, in their 30s, and even older, and they're dating. However, they don't really take the precaution measures before they go out with a stranger, basically. So, and that doesn't really only apply to situations when women meet men on the online dating platforms. It could be in any other context. It could be somebody that you met in a restaurant, in the bar, in the supermarket, anywhere. Still, that person is a stranger. And the thing is that there are men out there who would pretend and show that they have really good intentions and they're nice and they're kind, but you never know what's actually in their minds and whether they really have good intentions or not. And when it comes to men who could be abusers or dangerous men, they don't always actually, I would say they rarely show what their true intentions are, and moreover they're very skilled. They're very good at hiding their malicious intentions, and they have been doing that for a long time. If they're abusers and they use and take advantage of women, this is behavior that is kind of a habit. It doesn't happen only once or twice. Same thing with men who have good intentions. So if they're good and decent human beings, they'll be like that, and they have been like that since they know each other, since forever. So bear in mind that there's some men out there who are really, really skillful in manipulating and lying and masking their true intentions. And hence why it's so important that women do not make any compromise when it comes to safety, physical safety, personal safety when they're dating. The statistics are really crazy when it comes to how many women are being, used, abused, and violated by men. And I'm not saying that so women can feel afraid to date. Of course, dating should be a positive and nice experience, but you never know who are you dating. So first and foremost, for the ladies, do not disclose your physical address. Never at the beginning. Okay? So no matter how nice the date went, no matter how kind and intelligent and educated and successful that man is, it doesn't matter. There are successful, intelligent men who are criminals. So before you gain trust, which normally is built in time. It doesn't happen for a day or two. It's something that men should win the trust of a woman. It doesn't happen just automatically because they had one or two dates. So don't reveal your physical address. And it may sound, as I said, as a common sense, but there are situations like situations that could make it easier for abusers or for perpetrators of violence against women to take advantage of women. Let's say he may try to trick you to reveal and disclose your physical address by, let's say, you're out on a dinner date, and it's late, and he offers you to join you and make you a company until you get home. Even if you get a taxi or whatever, unless you have your own car, of course, then it doesn't make much sense. But there's a lot of situations where, out of being a gentleman, being kind, at least that some men would use that an excuse. Men have malicious intent, of course. I'm not talking about the ones who are really kind and they want to do it because they want to be a gentleman. But at the beginning, you don't know that. So even if the man has all good intentions, at the beginning, don't do it. Don't really do it. Even if your gut feeling is saying, oh, I'm safe, don't do it. Not only because there is still a risk, because you don't know that person, but also because sometimes it doesn't really even make a good impression. Because, if you're disclosing personal information about you to any stranger, what that man would think about you? That maybe you're doing that to everybody, and it's not a good impression. It's not something nice. And it's, as I said, most importantly, it's not safe. So don't do that. There are men who would use those that have malicious intents. They may use any sort of tricks and excuses or explanations as to how they want to get that kind of information about you. I've been asked personally where I live, which floor I live, and things like that on a first or a second date. It doesn't sound right. I mean, there could be any sort of reasons, but I would definitely say keep that information for yourself and really only for your closest friends, and that's it. Until, again, you gain that trust in the man, which takes a lot of time. It should take a lot of time. It's not an instant, automatic thing. Another thing, if you live alone, don't say that you live alone. When you're dating a person that you don't know and you've met just recently, even if you do live alone, say that you share the flat with somebody else, or you live with your family, whatever it may be. Don't disclose that information too. It's easier for men to stalk women, violate women, abuse women who live alone. They target women who are somehow more vulnerable. They have some weakness. And if you're alone and you don't have a strong support system, you may become the perfect target. So don't share that information either at the beginning. And another thing, when you're on a date, be careful with the drinks. For the ladies who drink alcohol, because alcohol can lead to you as a woman letting down or putting down your guard and become more open, more trustful, to share information that you shouldn't share, to be open for manipulation and any sort of things that if he's an abuser, he may take advantage of you. Much easier, let me put it this way. It's much easier because it helps women to let the guard down, to be more open, more trustful, and share information that they shouldn't share. Be even more open to let the man to be physical with them, even if they really didn't want that, but because of under the influence of alcohol, they may let that happen. And when I was working with the police and the justice system, the first question that they ask if there is a case of rape, which in most cases happen by men. The perpetrators of rape are usually men that are known to the victim. This is the most common scenario. And they ask, whether the victim was actually under the influence of substances, alcohol, drugs, or whatever. So be careful. Be careful with the drinks and monitor your drinks. Like, monitor the glass that you drink from. And in some places in Europe that may sound like too much, because it's like, oh, that's not very common, people don't do that, come on, this is just too much, whatever. It does happen. And women, don't shy away to show that you protect yourself. It's not a bad thing. Don't think, oh, what would he think about me if he sees me that I take my glass with me when I need to go to the loo or something like that. It doesn't matter. Your safety should be your first priority. And if he's a decent man, he would actually understand that, even if he thinks it's too much. If he really likes you, and if he's a decent man, he would definitely not mind it, and he would understand you. So I think a lot of women don't apply the protection measures that are really common sense, just because they don't want to look weird, too paranoid, or and afraid that their date will think something bad about them, or will somehow somehow influence him in a bad way, and that would be a deal breaker for him, or whatever it may be. Don't think about what other people think, because your safety is your responsibility, ladies. And that's it. We may hold accountable perpetrators for their violence, for their abuse, for whatever they've done to you. And of course, they are accountable. But isn't it better that you prevent instead of suffering the consequences and going on trials or to the police or whatever? All these things you could have avoided, and the trauma and the stress and all the emotional, physical, psychological consequences from an act that you actually could have prevented if you just took the right protection measures, safety measures when you're dating. And you don't care what other people may think. The right man would understand you. The right man will accept it and actually will support it. I've heard a lot of men saying, like, yeah, of course women should take care, should be careful, because there are all sorts of men out there. And as I said, the right man who really cares and is interested in you will not see you as crazy. I mean, you just protect yourself. Actually, on the contrary, he would appreciate that, and he would respect it, and will value very high the fact that you're a woman who, you know your value, and you're intelligent and do what's necessary to protect yourself from any potential harm. So yeah, drinking alcohol on dates, be really careful with that. You know yourself much better how much you can tolerate alcohol, but after a couple of drinks, you should be really careful. Even if the man that you're dating is also, joining you and having a drink with you, all that. A lot of men would take advantage of you and will wait until you get tipsy so that they become more physical with you, start to hug you, kiss you, or get intimate with you and sleep with you. So be careful with that too. Another thing, while you're on that date and you see things are going in the wrong direction, let's say he made a comment that was offensive, even if it's not something so obvious, but a little sneaky derogatory comment, or touches you in a way that you don't want to be touched, or touches you and you don't want to be touched, whatever he may say or do that's not right, just leave. Don't tolerate it. There's a lot of women, out of avoiding awkward situation, if now I leave just like in the middle of that date, what he may think about me, or what others would think if I just take my purse and leave, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't have to put up with the behavior that you don't like. And that's called self-respect. You can do it in a polite way and excuse yourself and leave. You don't have to make a drama out of it. But if you don't like the date, if you don't like how it's going and his behavior, just leave. Excuse yourself and leave. You can just make up an excuse that's acceptable and leave the situation. This is how you build your self-respect, and this is how you make other people respect you. And if they don't deserve your presence. It's simple as that. Women are just being so conditioned to put up with a lot of things that they shouldn't. Just to be the nice girl, just to be polite. And they've been conditioned like this since they were little kids. You have to be a good girl. You have to be nice. No, you don't have to be. Especially if the other person that you spend your time with is not nice with you, it's not kind with you, or you just don't like it. So that's really important as well. It's another important point that ladies, you should really you shouldn't make any compromise with. Let me put it this way. If you don't like it, just leave, and that's it. Block him if you don't want to have any contact. You don't need to entertain men that you don't like, just to be nice, just to be kind, or for whatever other reason. And another very important point is, once you make make up your mind about that man. Let's say you don't like him and you don't want to have another date with him, you don't want to see him again, etc. Stick to it. Stick to that decision. Don't change it. Don't give a second chance. There is a good reason why you have decided that you don't want to see that person anymore. Don't change your mind just because he's insisting, just because he keeps calling you, and just because you're bored and you don't have anything else to do, or you don't have whatever silly reason. Do not change it. Stick to your decisions. That's also a sign of self-respect. And if you've made a decision, as I said, there's a good reason why you've made that decision. So there is no going back. Especially for, as I said, for some silly reasons, because, oh, I'm bored, I don't have anything to do. And I've heard women saying that. You shouldn't, because then you may go out with him because, well, why not, or because you don't have anything else to do or anything better to any other better man to go out with, but then you're just entertaining somebody that you don't like, and that hits your self-esteem, believe it or not. And there's another thing. Men know that. Men know that you don't like them if you don't. Unless you're a really good actress, but they can sense that. And especially if they're abusers and they're dangerous men, they will wait the moment when they could get you back, convince you to go out on another date and keep seeing each other, and will punish you for that. Will punish you for kicking him out the first time and cutting him off the first time. There are men who do that. And they will wait until you feel vulnerable, or, God forbid, you at some point fall in love with that kind of a man, and he remembers, he keeps a record of all things that you have done that he didn't like, regardless of whether they were intentional from your side to hurt him or not, doesn't matter. And he will use that against you. There are men who do that. And that kind of men, you are not some kind of a rare creature. A lot of men do that because it hurts their ego, and they want to punish women for that. So stick to your decisions. First of all, before making a decision, think carefully whether you really don't want to see that man again, if you don't like him and you don't see a reason to meet another time. And once you make that decision, stick to it. There's a lot of other amazing men out there, so you don't have to go back and give second chance. And I honestly think that second chances rarely work. Actually, it's the contrary. Although the presumption is that, okay, if I give him a second chance, the idea is that, and the presumption is that things may get better. Actually, in most cases, they get worse. Of course, it depends what happened the previous time. If it's something innocent and misunderstanding or whatever, maybe different. But if he has hurt you, used you, abused you, whatever, giving a second chance is just stupidity and a sign of low self-esteem. So ladies, don't do that. Never. Yeah, so these were a few A few tips that I wanted to give to the ladies, how they could navigate the dating experience better, so that they don't waste their time with the wrong man, and really show self-respect. First, gain that self-respect. You don't have it, ladies, because there are ladies out there that put themselves at the last place, and really don't know their value, and that would be your mission. First, you have to find your value, and you have it. You just have to work on it. If you don't think you have it, or if you think that you're not good enough, or the man that you're dating is better than you, whatever, no. That's a recipe for disaster. You have to be the queen so that he can become the king in that relationship. Otherwise, it won't work. And then just don't tolerate things that are not tolerable, and stick to this. Don't make compromises with yourself for the sake of being with somebody. That never works out. On the contrary, trust me. I hope this live actually show and reveal a little bit the woman's world, and when it comes to dating, of course, and the dangers and the risks that women actually have to always consider when they're dating a stranger. And actually, I would say not only a stranger, because they're abusers and women's haters out there that in front of their friends, their colleagues, that they're the perfect man, the perfect colleague, the perfect neighbor, very kind, very nice, very helpful, but they treat women like trash. And that not always happen in front of everybody. Actually, rarely happens in front of everybody and in public. They do that secretly, behind closed doors, and even their closest friends may not know that. So a friend may introduce you to their friends, saying, "Oh, this is a nice guy, I know him for X number of years," but you still have to protect yourself, ladies. You still have to be careful, because you never know. I mean, it's better to be somebody that you know, or is a friend of somebody who you know it's still the risk is a little bit lower, but it's not a guarantee that he's a decent person with women. So you always have to be careful, and then don't let your guard down just because he's a friend of a friend. It's not a guarantee that he's a decent man and he will treat you with respect and he will not do something to hurt you. So always put your safety as a priority, regardless of who you're dealing with. Zero trust at the beginning and for some prolonged period of time. And take care. Thank you everybody who joined the chat and this live. I appreciate your gifts and liking the live, and I wish you a very nice evening. Bye.